application instructions for the Sigafoos Series I preventive applications. This is Milo. Milo is a 12-year-old thoroughbred, 3-day event horse. Milo just returned from Bromont from a competition in Canada, and he has had these shoes on for 6 weeks. We're going to demonstrate cutting the shoe off of the foot. We use a standard utility knife with a sharp blade, and we'll insert the blade between the shoe and the hoof wall, and we'll score the fabric. So what we're doing is cutting the fabric off of the shoe. You can see that the only thing that bonds the shoe to the hoof is the fabric around the outside. We have no adhesive on the sole, there's no adhesive in the heels, so the only area that's bonding the shoe is the fabric itself. We'll remove the fabric off the hoof wall by grabbing one section of the fabric and just peeling it off. And what you're seeing is that we're peeling the fabric off without taking the hoof wall off, because the hoof wall, the adhesive separates cleanly from the fabric and leaves a layer of adhesive on the hoof wall. Bear in mind these shoes have been on for 6 weeks. And you can see that when we take the fabric off, you're seeing clean fabric and there's no hoof wall on here. We've left a layer of adhesive on the hoof wall itself. I'm checking the fit of the shoe by feeling the hoof wall through the fabric. There's no special requirements for shoe fit. Fit the shoe as you would for a conventional nail-on shoe. Be drilled and tapped for studs. We're going to show you how well this urethane is bonded to the aluminum shoe, and I'm going to show you what you can actually do without separating the aluminum. You see we can virtually straighten this thing out, and we have no evidence at all of any of the separation of the aluminum from the urethane. Cut the fabric to fit. A disc sander provides an easy way to separate the excess fabric from the shoe. Cut the excess fabric using sharpened scissors. We're cutting the top edge of the fabric, and what this does is it trims the height of the fabric to the height that I want it, and it also opens up the layers so that I can have 4 layers exposed. This will expose us to 4 individual layers of fabric. These sleeves are just to protect the horse's leg from the adhesive. It really won't hurt the skin if you get it on the skin, but this just makes everything a little bit neater. We turn the sleeve inside out, and then there's a pressure-sensitive adhesive on the inside, and this goes around the coronet band. We'll start the tape about halfway, pull off the release liner about halfway, put it on the horse's foot, pull the tape off the rest of the way. Press the release liner against the hoof wall just below the coronet band. And then I'll run a little bit of white tape around the hoof wall.
Be sure to use the rubber gloves that are supplied with the kit.
Now we've added the black pigment to the adhesive. Now we're going to add the accelerator. We're mixing this at 4:1. I'm going to mix this very thoroughly. Take about a quarter of what you have here, rub it into the hoof wall very thoroughly. Always apply the adhesive to the hoof wall first. Separate the layers of the fabric and apply the adhesive. Don't worry about being particularly neat. We're going to work the adhesive into the fabric. Now notice that there's no adhesive on the rim pad itself. It's only on the fabric, nothing on the rim pad. Take a little of additional adhesive and we'll wipe it around the sides of the hoof wall. Take the shoe, put it on. I'm going to smooth it down by hand. Notice I'm pushing the fabric down from the bottom of the shoe upwards, straight down. Wipe off a little bit of excess adhesive. Clean the shoe. And notice how I do this. Now this is very important to pay attention to this. I'm starting from the heel of the bulbs of the heel. I'm going over the toe and then over the bulbs of the heel. I'm not going over the heel of the shoe here. Notice how far I'm coming up over the bulbs of the heels. Now I'm going to change my direction and go over this way. Over the heel, well up over the cornet band. Now we'll just take a tongue blade and smooth the fabric down. Now take your acid brush as your last step and just brush in underneath the concave portion of the shoe to make sure that you don't have any adhesive set there. And now we can set the horse's foot down. We don't have to wait for the adhesive to cure because the tape is going to fix the shoe in place. Because we don't have any adhesive between the shoe and the bottom of the foot, we don't have to worry about the adhesive squeezing out of the joint and starving the joint. We don't have any adhesive on the heels, so if you have a sore-heeled horse, you don't have to worry about putting a lot of adhesive on the heels. And we also are having a very good concave shoe, so we don't have any glue on the sole itself.
After about 10 minutes, I can remove the stretch wrap from the hoof and remove the leg sleeve. In most cases, it is not necessary to extend the fabric all the way to the back of the heels. Since the sole is not bonded to the shoe, it allows for appropriate heel expansion.
And then we can cut the fabric back to at least the widest part of the foot.
The Series I shoes have been proven in lab, clinic, and field competition until you remove the shoe.